like that.
I forget the number,
it's
man.
enough to get you set. Yeah,
It might be 5%.
It's enough to get you set. Whatever it is, it's enough to get you set. 5% off of $1 million, I take it.
Right. What's the average realtor commission percent? Yeah, about 6%.
Take it
on average.
6%. 6% off of a $500,000 house.
Yeah, you good.
Not even $1 million crib. $50 million, a $500,000 crib is 6% is good. I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
What's that? 30 grand.
You talking about that's what
30 grand, right?
Something like that. Run the math real quick.
30 grand in one hit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, if I'm living.
And, by the way, we're recording.
Yeah.
Huh?
Damn, I got more editing.
By the way, you got to cut the first minute. We start doing this joint like 85 South. They just sit and talk for like 5-10 minutes, and then we start the show like thought the show done been started. Y'all been talking.
Right.
We done heard you already.
All right, y'all. What's my intro? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. Episode 29. 29, man.
We back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, my name is Jared Denzel's the co-host, and we're going to get into some cigars and a little bit of everything else. You been good, my man?
Yeah, man. Working, man. Coming off of a slave shift. Working 24 hours. 24 hours. Actually, 26. Actually. You know what I'm saying? Total time. Got a little bit of sleep, but I'm bouncing back strong. You know what I mean?
You a good one. You a good one, brother. We appreciate you for showing up today, man. Hey, for those who actually care, we missed a few episodes all on me. When it was this man's turn where he could have missed it, he showed up for it. So we're glad to be back. I took my whole band off. I just tried to take my cigar out of the plastic and lost the band inside. Anyway, let's get into the stars of the show today. It's going to be, on my end, I will be smoking a Montecristo 1935 anniversary edition. So that's what I'm on.
Okay, hey. One thing about Montecristo, that's one of the cigar brands I sleep on a lot. I see it often, but I'm just never compelled to pick it up. I don't know why. Like something tells me to grab one, but I never grab it. So it's probably one of my most slept on cigars. For some reason, I see it all the time, but I pass over. Not saying they're not good cigars, you know what I mean? But it's for some reason I skip over it.
Man. It's all good, man. We're going to show it some love today. I believe it's going to be a winner. I have high expectations for it, but we'll see. Oh, yeah. Let me get into the description that I do know about it. It is a Nicaraguan cigar, a Nicaraguan wrapper, and Nicaraguan origin. Those are the facts that I have on it. Anything else, we'll figure it out as we go.
Nicaragua through and through, huh?
Through and through.
All right, man. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my cigar. We got an Alec Bradley.
Who?
Alec Bradley.
Where you find him?
One of the Alex. I found this one a few weeks ago. I've been keeping it stashed in the humidor. And I had it in mind to try for the show. I took care of it.
Okay.
I took care of it. Been in the humidor. Humidity levels was good. I can guarantee it. So we're gonna give it a fair shake. It's the Lost Art. Alec Bradley Lost Art. Little description. We got a Honduras origin with a Honduran wrapper. So you got the Nicaraguan through and through, minus Honduras through and through.
There we go. All right, so that's who's going to be starring today. I know everybody looking forward to hearing a little bit from what Alec got going on, because Alec is our man.
Yeah, man. Like, and that could be something that we can talk about too. The attraction to a cigar. I saw it. For one, you don't see Alec Bradley too much, but then something was attractive about this cigar that said, man, I got to grab it. So it caught my eye. It was an eye catcher. So
Let me
Alec,
check
let's see
that
what you
band.
got, man.
You know, I give it to Alec. He's always got a pretty band.
Yeah,
It's
man, good
always a lot
presentation.
going on it. You know what I'm saying? He keeps a good presentation. It's never simple. It's always got its complexities to it. Like as you see this Montecristo, this is got a nice classic, not over the
Yeah,
top. You know what I'm saying? Simple
not over the
band.
top. Just
But
smooth with
Alec
it.
always goes and has a lot going on, but it's always kind of cool, man. I don't ever look at it and think he's got ugly bands. They do have great presentation.
I mean, it was an eye catcher early on when we first got into it. You know, what I'm saying seeing the ratings of Alec, and then also coupled with the presentation of it, you
Yeah.
just felt like you had a high quality cigar anytime you picked up an Alec. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
man, let's hope that it lives up to his presentation.
What you doing
And
to that
also,
beauty?
we got a V cut with it. I got
Okay.
a cedar spill. We'll light it with the cedar spill. We're gonna give it the presidential treatment. Also to note, I think it's important to note, I got a box press. It's a box press boy.
Okay.
And man, love that box press.
All right. Well, I'm going straight cut over here, and I do have some cedar, not a spill. Just got some cedar sticks. I'm gonna get that started with these matches, and then I'm gonna hit the cedar with it. Hit it on the cedar.
Oh yeah, man. Like it's toasty.
Come on, man. Come on, man. There we go. Couldn't get.
Match ain't giving you trouble, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know we missed a few weeks with the show. But I hit you up a couple of days ago. I actually had a moment to enjoy a morning smoke, and also realizing, man, I haven't had a cigar in several weeks, and getting back into the swing of things with being able to enjoy my cigar, man. I fell out of place for a minute. Like you just ever have that feeling like, man, something's missing, but not
Mm-hmm.
realizing you haven't had your cigar in like a couple of weeks. It's been a few weeks, but then you sit down and have your cigar, like, you know what? That was my missing piece. That's exactly the way I felt a couple days ago, man. I sat down, I was like, man, I haven't had a cigar, and not even thinking about it, that it's actually been like almost 3 weeks. And just not feeling right until I sparked that cigar that morning. It's like, man, this is where I was supposed to be.
Brought you back.
That was the missing key. It brought me back.
Well, I can't say that I relate to that today. In the
Yeah.
past, yes. In the past, yes. I definitely have. I've gone my periods, but since we've been out of the show, I have been in the loop. I haven't lost no cigar time. I've been
Really?
getting it in.
Yeah, lucky you. Lucky you. I mean, that's one thing that's really kept me on my cigar rotation is the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's forcing me to keep a healthy rotation of cigars in my humidor. And then also helping me keep a healthy balance with getting my cigar time in.
Right. Speaking on cigars, I have to give my initial thoughts on this. It's a good bit going on, and I don't feel like I broke it all down yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie. As I was actually getting everything started here, and I was toasting the cigar, and I'm taking my first few inhales of it. Well, not inhales, but I'm getting my first couple of pieces of it here. It's my first thought was, wow, this is a bad boy. That's what I was thinking. It's a
Oh yeah?
bad boy. Yeah. Just right off the bat, that was my first thought. Somehow
That
it
in that
has.
introduction.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong now. It's got some strong spice to it. It's got some
Mm-hmm.
woodiness to it that I'm picking up on, mixed all with a subtle sweetness to it. Not when I say sweet, don't go in thinking I don't want you thinking fat bottom Betty or nothing like that. Not that type of sweet. Really subtle. but it's a subtle sweetness to it that kind of tames it a little bit, but it's some strong spice that come through on it. But it's so smoothly done. Like that smoke is so smooth though. Like
you getting a full body smoke?
I am.
Okay.
This is yeah. I don't want to say that yet. Never mind. So what's your initial thoughts?
Gonna reserve those comments for a few more pulls. Get more into your first third a little bit before you jump all the way in, right?
I'll save it for the end. I'll just save it for the end. That specific thought goes at the end, you know. But I've already had it, just so y'all know. Like,
all right, fair enough. We'll definitely look forward to hearing what you got to say. Man, Lost Art, Alec Bradley, first couple puffs, not bad, not great, but not bad. I'm not getting too much spice, but I am getting a little bit of bite.
Okay.
I felt like I took very good care of the cigar. Came out the same humidor that I smoked the cigar out of about 2 or 3 days ago, and that one was great. So I wouldn't think that this integrity would be any different from the other cigar. So I'm getting a little bit of a bite, but it could be just off the first burn. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it mellows out a little bit. Getting a good rich full body smoke, which I enjoy. I'm actually coming to enjoy a full body now. Like I used to be medium to full. Man, Give me a full body smoke. Give me that thick smoke. I'm with it. I'm all the way with it. So it's giving me that, but it's giving me some bite in the beginning. You know, and we know I lit it with the cedar spill, so I know it's not butane or anything like that or lighter fluid. So we'll see. Give it a few more pulls and let it burn down a little bit and see if it mellows out.
Yeah, that bite is always a little disappointing, you know, and because it's hard to really say without a shadow of a doubt where that comes from, because even if it doesn't come from your humidor, it don't mean it didn't come from the humidor before you got it.
Humidor, you picked it up? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that automatically means you get a do-over on that one.
True, but you know what? I'm gonna say this: bite in the beginning, it's a scary place to be.
Oh yeah.
I've had bite that's turned into a brick house experience or a Gurkha experience. And I've had bite that turns into a Liga Privada experience. You know, I've seen some cigars turn around after bite in the beginning, like having a real tart bite and even out smooth and bounces up there on the Liga level. You know? But then I've also seen that bad turn where it turns into that brick house experience. So it's a tough way to start.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Now you don't have a clue what to expect. Like, and it would be better if you were like, hey, this is gonna work itself out, but
it's gonna work itself out.
Yeah, but we don't know.
Just gotta hope it works itself out.
We don't know, Alec. You know, we don't know. Maybe 10 years ago we'd have said, hey man, this is gonna work itself out. But
it's gonna work out. But right now, Alec, come on now. And then I don't know how long the cigar's been sitting because as we know, Alec, man, how many people are picking up those cigars? So how long did that sit? It was on the bottom shelf.
Ooh. That's right there with the $5 gin. Ooh, bottom shelf. Alec Bradley is bottom shelf. ENJ. Ooh, but I like EMJ.
Paul Masson.
Yeah, I'm not as big a Paul fan. I know people that were. But nah. Dang, boy. Alec is now Paul Masson. Well, I didn't get my Montecristo on the bottom shelf. I'll say that much, man. And I'm quite enthusiastic about the experience I'm having.
Eye level?
I didn't have to look up to get it. Yeah, it was our level. It was our level. I didn't have to look up. Price point. Let me see. I still have it up here. It was $19.95 is what I spent for this particular one. Do you have your price point?
$19.95. Mm-hmm. I don't have it completely. I'm pretty sure it was around $10, $11, $12. Nothing under 10, definitely nothing on over 13, especially with Alec Bradley. I mean, there's not too many Alec Bradleys I've seen that's been over that much.
Right.
And I don't think I would be inclined to pick up an Alec Bradley that was over $16, $17. So
You'd
I'm
have to
gonna
hit some
guess,
really good stuff in the streets about that, right?
yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess about $12 probably. That's probably how much I picked it up for. That sounds like typical me.
That's about right. That's about right. This spice is leveled out on this also. Now it's just more like a coffee. You know what I'm saying? More like a coffee type taste.
All right.
Along with those same woods and woody, earthy,
I don't.
notes.
We've talked about it before. I don't mind spice in the beginning as long as it's done right. It's done well, and then it smooths out. I don't mind it.
That's exactly what happened. And I was happy with the spice. I wouldn't have been mad if the spice continued, to be honest. I didn't expect the spice to hit me right away like that. It was quick, but it was done so tastefully. It was like, okay, Spice, you showed up to the party early, but you can stay. You know what I'm saying? You can stay, Spice. I ain't even mad at you. I'm adapted to you now. But then Spice said, I just wanted to say, hey, I got to run real quick.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I'll find my way around to Montecristo one of these days. And depending on your review, we might make it a mainstay. We'll see.
Most definitely. So how about we're getting set up here and I come on camera eating carrots and stuff. And he like, man, are you eating a carrot? and he made me feel like, like it's just an abnormal thing to do is eat carrots and stuff like that, man.
You whole carrot. Not a sliced carrot. Not sliced carrots are cooked. It looked like it came right out the ground. You know what I'm saying? Bugs Bunny type.
We bought a bag of whole carrots, and we did cut them up for a particular meal, but we had some left over. And the kids like eating them. I like eating them, so I was eating a carrot for a little snack pre-show, to put a little something on my stomach before I jumped in with this Montecristo because I didn't know what to expect. I figured it was going to be strong, but it's been good so far. But there's no fruits of no. Okay, are there any vegetables yourself that you eat just random the way they are? They're not just a dish. You just grab it and eat. How some people grab an onion and eat it. I don't know if you ever seen that, but I've seen that before. Is there a vegetable that you just eat?
I've never seen anybody eat a whole onion.
I've seen people eat an onion before.
I've never seen it. Maybe a cucumber? Actually, a cucumber is considered a fruit, though, right?
It's got seeds.
It doesn't grow underground. Yeah.
That's something that people confuse too. Family, though. I throw it in the cucumber family. I mean, I throw it in the vegetable family, but it's technically not. A tomato's not either.
Yeah, it's technically. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grab a cucumber, slice them up, and eat them just like they chips or something like that. I actually like cucumbers, you know what I mean?
Cucumber
dip them in something, throw them back or whatever.
That's a bad enough for cucumbers, man. I buy cucumbers, I slice them, put them in my water. I slice them, throw a little salt and pepper on them and stuff. Just eat them how they are. Yeah, the kids will be rushing over, grabbing cucumbers off my plates and stuff, man. The wife walk up, grabbing cucumbers. Cucumbers go. And then they turn into pickles and they go hard then, man.
Go even harder.
With no cucumbers, man.
Cucumbers killing it.
They're so versatile, man. They slip on. They throw them in a salad, they make the salad. Throw them on a sandwich, they make it better. You know what I'm saying? Like,
come on now. Talk about it.
Cucumbers.
Put them on your eyes.
Your puffiness gets better. You put them on your eye, they make your face prettier. Cucumbers is so underrated, bro.
Show love to the cucumbers, man. Come on now.
Please do. Please do. I don't hear them get enough love, man. You don't hype me up when you brought up cucumbers because I'm like, man, I'm a cucumber guy. And they just don't get the respect they deserve, man.
You say cucumber water. Cucumbers on the salad. Show some love to it. But I can rock with those. But other than that, I mean, what else am I pulling out the ground and eating? Like, it's just off of that. We're not talking about fruit, talking about straight veggies. Anything else you need to
What's a
cook it
veggie
up.
that can go in that fruit realm? Like how you say with a fruit, we just grab it out the grocery store and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Is cucumbers the only thing that can possibly hang in that fruit realm? And it's not, because it don't have the sweetness of a fruit. So of course
Okay.
people are not gonna
So
look at it like that. But
I mean, tomatoes. Other than tomatoes, you know what I'm saying? People slice them up, throw some salt on it, eat tomatoes. I mean, you can put
yeah,
that in the same category because we know it's fruit, but we
yeah,
look at it as vegetable. You know what I'm saying? Because
right,
it's not sweet. That's the only thing I can think of. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that's underrated as far as like us really taking into account like how important it is to have that in our diet as like one of the main things we eat. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff that grow from the earth.
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we like our meat. You know what I'm saying? Slaughter it up, throw the steak on the grill, kill it. But man, it's important to get that food that grow from the earth, man. It's important to get that food that grow from the earth. Like I am big on fruit. I am big on fruit. I'm not as big on vegetables as I should be, only because like we say, like if it's something that you just can't grab and eat, you got to cook it up. Most of your vegetables, you got to cook it up to eat it.
Yeah,
For me, anyway.
right.
But man, I'm big on all kinds of fruit, man. Um, and getting into growing food. I don't know about you and any other friends that you know and who have kids and are growing up but have their own gardens. Like how I grew up having a garden, man. Like my mom put us out there. We was growing the fruit and growing the peppers and strawberries and picking them off and eating them while we playing. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the ground.
Right.
Straight out the ground. You know,
Most
it's
definitely.
good to get it from the grocery store, but it's better to get it straight out the ground, man.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. My grandmother had a garden, and my mother and my grandmother had one together that they worked on also.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did. It was like you say, they had mainly vegetables. The only fruits they
Mm-hmm.
had was what you call them little grapes, scuffling grapes or something like that. They call them. You know what I'm talking about? They like kind of thick and got like I don't. She had grapes, put it that way. We'll say that. She had some grapes. That
Mm-hmm.
was the only fruit. So, we would go eat the grapes off of it and stuff like that when we was playing. But that was, like you say, it's just fresher food, man. Everybody paying all this extreme money for organic today. And you're capable of
You
doing
can go.
organic yourself.
You could go grow it yourself.
My barber lives in an apartment and still has his own vegetable garden. He just
Like
did
one
it
of
out
those
on his
raised
deck.
gardens.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
like a
did it on
raised
his
garden or
deck.
something like that.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, he had like some
Nice.
buckets and stuff. He put the
Okay.
soils in his little pots and buckets and stuff, started growing it out on the east side of Atlanta. And do you know that uh I don't know how to say it without using vulgar language, but do you know there's a group of people that came and tried to rob his vegetable garden during the pandemic when it was getting hard?
For real.
You know who they were. They went and got his vegetables right there. He had to run them out his yard because they was coming onto his patio on his deck trying to get his vegetables and stuff like that. All you
Hey,
got
I
to
mean
do is go to
that's
Lowe's and go buy you a pack of seeds. You know what I'm saying? And
throw it in there and
boom,
nurture it and grow it.
nurture it and grow it. People don't want to take the time though, man. It's something we always talk about is that microwave mentality that society has.
Micro-
They ain't got time to grow their own food. I know y'all couldn't go hunt your own food if it was like that out there because you ain't got no patience.
for for real. I mean, but here's the thing: like hunting is still a big like. I don't know if it's a big thing. I can't say for sure that it is a big thing, but I do know a lot of hunters. You know, especially coming through the military.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I run into a lot of people who hunt. You know what I'm saying? They still go out and hunt. But I don't know too many people who garden. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
hunting is still it's still a sport. People still do it, but they do it more so for sport than to rely on eating. Of
Yeah, they
course,
do it for their
um,
savagery. No offense to the hunters
right.
that's listening, because I know y'all. I know there's some cigar smokers that can hunt, but
But I still feel like hunting is a thing. It's a thing.
yeah,
But I don't necessarily think that gardening is a thing as much from my standpoint, at least in our culture, or the age group and under that I know about. Could be wrong, but I don't see it much. But I do hear about people who are our age and younger still desiring to hunt. So I don't know if it's that thing or if it's because it's more of a sport type of thing that hunting is still it's still a thrill, but you don't get a thrill out of growing a garden. It's not the same kind of thrill. But the benefits are the same. To have your own,
The benefits are definitely the same, maybe even better. You know what I'm saying?
Or even better, because you can maintain it yourself. You can maintain the pace and the amount that you're able to grow.
Correct. With hunting, you don't know what type of animal you don't know what the condition of the animal is you got. You can't control it. You just hit what you hit from a distance and hope you got something worth eating. But with vegetables, like you said, you got
or hope you find something to hit.
There you go.
You might sit all day and not find anything.
Yeah. Or you got to wait till a season to do certain things.
Yeah.
Because you can't hunt outside of season legally. So
True.
If I had to guess my own take on that and why people don't respect gardening the way that they used to, or just don't do it, maybe not disrespect, but I think that we've reached a state where the guys that would do it look at it like it's a feminine thing to do. And I think the women that would do it, they're too busy in the world, living regular lives now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think a lot of times that the women from the early 1900s that would have been involved in helping with that, actually they wouldn't have been involved anyway, because the man would have been doing it because he had his own farm. He'd have been running it. That was the thing to do once upon a time.
And I was going to say that, like looking at it like it's a feminine thing to do. Like, nah, man. I mean, a lot of these farms, if not the majority of them, men tend to those farms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Growing that produce.
Traditionally, it's a very masculine thing to do, but people, I don't think they look at it that way anymore.
Yeah. But hey, man, now that we're kind of on this topic, you saw the Gilly the Kid and Rick Ross thing, right?
I purposely stayed away from that because I'd never liked Gilly like that early on, and I'm starting to like Gilly. And then he came. I know him and Ross had their little thing, and I didn't want to go back to disliking Gilly, so I just didn't. I didn't hear it because I was going to side with Ross. I was going to side with Ross.
Right.
And I'm starting to like Gilly. I don't want to not like him again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a rapper, just a rapper. He was a loudmouth over. He's just like he's just a loudmouth, cocky rapper that I didn't think was that hot. And now that I get to see his personality, I can accept it because he's funny. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So I don't know what happened with it. I didn't know. I'm totally out the loop outside of knowing it exists.
Of course, they were doing some back and forth, some petty back and forth.
It was over meat, right?
Yeah, I mean that was part of it. I think Ross had said something. I think Gilly said something first, and then Rick Ross responded louder. I think what Gilly said was kind of just like, low key talk.
Yeah.
Rick Ross
he run his podcast. He made a comment, and then Ross
made a comment.
Yeah,
and then now it just they one up each other. But the big thing that kind of caught my ear,
did it end or is it still going?
I think it ended for the most part. I haven't heard much of it in like maybe a week or so.
Okay. Cool.
But Gilly clowning Ross on having livestock. You know what I'm saying? He bought a cow,
dude, man. He don't know.
He got this and he did that, and you know what I'm saying? He got animals and hooves and this and that, and like talking about how much his cow costs. Like, you don't realize that's big business. Livestock.
Yeah, that's a joke that's gonna get over with people that don't know no better. But that's ain't no country boy or no city guy. I mean, no guy from the South gonna laugh at that. You know what I'm saying? That's some up north city slicker.
Like, I was saying, like, the only people probably looking at that like, ha 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 ha, is people who don't know that that's money.
Big money.
That's big money.
Yeah, I got a friend that own bulls and cows and stuff, and he banking off that. You know what I'm saying? And I was shocked that he did it because he ain't that type of dude. But he got his own business, and then he got that as a side hustle business.
Yeah,
eating,
and it's like kind of teaching that to young culture. about how important that type of stuff is. Like we talk about the gardening, still hunting for your food, and or having livestock, land, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Things that are going to appreciate. You know, we always looking to wanting to acquire these things that depreciate and not praising enough doing things that appreciate.
Right.
Like highlighting the fact that this man went and bought his own livestock and put it on his land that he has acres of. And is going to continue to make money on top of money, like almost endless residual.
That's some real man stuff he did. We talk about masculinity in men. That's some man stuff he did right there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, yeah. And you know, he from Ross from the South, you know what I'm saying, country boy too. You know what I'm saying? Albeit Florida.
Yeah. Florida, you know what I'm saying? Both. So
that's something you got to know. You got to know, especially all the land that's available in the South.
Bro, look at it this way.
Get you some land, get you some agriculture, man.
You talking about stuff, you say appreciation and buying stuff that doesn't depreciate. You touch on that, which make me think to myself, the only things of true value on this planet are the things of this planet. Everything else is at our discretion if we want to say it's valuable today. The car that you own, a Maybach, Maybach, is that how it was? A Maybach. Forget that. A Bugatti, $1 billion car, can only be charged $1 billion because the people are willing to pay $1 billion for it. Yeah. There will come a day when somebody says that's not worth $1 billion, and then we all decide it's not worth $1 billion, and they'll never sell one for $1 billion. I mean, I'm sorry, I keep saying $1 billion. They'll never sell it for $1 million again once people decide it's not worth that. But land, that's never gonna not be valuable. The stuff of the land that people need, food, water, all these things will always maintain a certain value to it. The stuff of the earth. That's why gold and diamonds, no matter if they fluctuate in price, they're always going to be of value.
They're always going to be valuable.
These are things straight from earth. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that man makes is the stuff that might get hot for a summer and then not ever be good again. You know what I'm saying? So how can you sit back and be critical of somebody who is going around getting all the stuff of the earth that you gonna need eventually? You ready to give up on them steaks, and you ready to give up on a delicious hamburger, Gilly? Like, you know what I'm saying? If not, how dare you clown a man?
How dare you?
For having cows and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Cattle and all these other things. You need that, brother. Like,
I mean, it's because we were taught, meaning us of lesser, I would say lesser, of what to value. We're taught on what's value.
Right.
And we're taught erroneously on what value is. And so we grow with this education thinking that one thing is something that's value when it's truly something else.
All right.
You know, we put our value, like you said, into a Bugatti or a Benz or this or that, or, you know what I'm saying, the jewelry after it's already been altered. Not the raw jewelry itself, not the raw piece itself, but the altered version of it, which technically is more degraded than the original substance. Yeah, the pureness of it. Yeah. We get a watered down, transformed version of it, and now we said that's worth something. When in all actuality, what they did was use very little bit of that mineral to make it look like something that's valuable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Watered it down and made it look pretty and said, hey, this is value.
Right.
I'm going to charge you this amount of money for this diamond or for this gold. You know what I'm saying? It's been stretched out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Unnatural state. And then you sell it
into an unnatural state. And we tell you that this is valuable and overcharge you for it and make you believe it's valuable.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
We got the game all wrong, man. And the people who know better, they ain't gonna sit back and argue with you. We arguing with you because we on your level, but the people who's
Yeah.
doing this stuff, well, whatever. I'm getting rich. I'm not worried about what y'all saying. You just don't know. Like you just don't know.
And man, I can take this back to, coming up through my African American Studies major and learning about African culture and what was considered valuable in Africa and then devalued. Valued, transformed into a currency, and then devalued. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like learning about salt pillars. Salt.
I knew you were going to go to salt. Go ahead. I'm following you.
How valuable salt was in all actuality before currency was currency like it is today. Salt was one of the most expensive items you can have. That was more than gold. It was valuable. The amount of worth that salt was versus currency. But we had some people decide to say, I'm going to take this salt, I'm going to give you this in exchange. This means something, and I'll take your salt. I'm going to devalue your salt to you, and I'm going to take this. This is something from the earth.
Right.
Rubber in the Congo.
Right.
Very, 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 very rich substance that they devalued and valued themselves and became wealthy off of it.
Correct.
It's because we changed the idea of what value is.
Right.
Got these little pieces of coins and saying, hey, look, this is valuable.
Yeah, you change it to your currency that you have plenty of and control that. Then you purchase what's actually valuable at a discounted rate to make them under the impression that their currency that they're receiving is now the actual value.
Like and the barter system, when it was just goods for goods, those things like rubber and salt, that had high level of value.
Yeah.
And now we throw around salt like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Let me sprinkle a little bit of this on my grits and whatnot, on my eggs, boom, boom, boom. And salt is nothing to us today.
But in reality, it's everything because we all use it.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you
we run out of it, that'll let you know how valuable it is. Like
you give a kid $1 bill or $100 bill, and you give them a salt shaker and say which one you want. They gonna come with that $100 bill.
Correct.
But in all actuality, that $100 bill really truly means nothing. That's just paper.
It's the value we give it. Like I say with anything, even
it's the value we gave it.
With our house, it's going up. My house is going up double in value. And I was talking to my wife about it. I'm like, yeah, it's not really worth that. And, she thinks I'm being negative, but I'm like, it's only worth that because somebody says they're willing to pay that for it. But it's not worth that in reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not fooled by this number. It's worth less than what we even bought it for. Like, you know what I'm saying? But hey, if somebody come and buy it for that amount, then foolish on them for paying double for it. But it's worth that since they paid for it. But in reality, when it's not gonna be worth that.
Yeah, if a housing market tanks, or your neighborhood degrades,
or if it just goes back to where it's supposed to be, like because right now it's up.
Things deflate. Inflation. Yeah,
because inflation.
Everything's inflated. Yeah. So it's crazy how we look at worth, man. It's I think we're too far gone for one to bring things back to actual worth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and I think jumping into cryptocurrency, that's why they're trying to put such a stigma and a control on cryptocurrency, because that's going to mess everything up. Like if we ever get to that point to where we can really truly mess up currency, and currency is really devalued to back down to the value that it honestly truly should be.
Right.
You got a paper dollar with a number on it, and we say it's worth something. You got a silver coin that's not really silver, or a copper penny that's not really copper.
Right.
And say it's worth something. You know what I mean?
Backed by nothing anymore, because now we just print.
Backed by nothing. Yeah. And now in all actuality, we don't even deal with the physical part of it.
So we deal with just put a number in my account on the computer and I just got to accept it.
Think about that. Look at your bank account. Your bank account is a number. My feelings in life is based on a number I look into when I look on an app or go to a building and say, "Can I see my balance?" And they print me out a piece of paper and say, "This is what your balance is."
So you can have this much.
Ain't no real money in there,
right?
This is what your account is worth. You got my currency is a number.
Yeah,
currency is truly just a number right now.
How many numbers you put in here? So this is how many numbers you can get back. But I've never touched a dollar in exchange. Your job, right? It puts a number in the bank
in your account.
And the bank reflects a number, and then it says you have a number. Then I go with a little card that says, "Hey, I got this number, guys.
This number." let me get
bread for that number on the chart.
We're just playing numbers. Yo, this is a mob game.
It's ridiculous.
We're just playing numbers, man.
It's so stupid if you think about it. Like,
we just running this culture of just numbers. I go to a gas pump, I'll pump a number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That gives me some fuel based on the number.
I don't even know how much is really going in there. I'm playing the trust game every time I pump gas. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, and we came from a generation where physical money was still, you know what I'm saying, a prevalent thing. You know, but think about kids growing up nowadays, right?
Well, think before the debit card, D. We not from the debit card era. Like, we got there, but like we were born prior to the debit card era.
Prior to it.
Yeah, it was credit cards.
When credit cards coming.
Credit cards existed.
Actually,
it was a check. You had your checkbook, you had your credit card,
right?
But not the debit card quite yet. You know what I'm saying? That came a little later. And the debit card changed everything. That's what really ushered us into this whole numbers thing. But even when me and you was in college, what we take our debit card and do? We went and got cash out for anything we wanted to do.
Yeah. True.
Swiping. Could you?
Now,
I don't even remember. Could you? Could you? Like, we went to Wendy's for 4 Could we just go hand them our debit cards? I don't remember doing that. I remember passing cash.
Doing that. I remember having to get a Bank of America account because I had Navy Federal, and there was no Navy Federals in Greensboro. So I remember having to go get a Bank of America account just so I can get money out. Just so I can get money out of a ATM or something like that. I don't think everywhere.
Yeah,
I don't think everywhere in the 2000s. Matter of fact, no. I do know for a fact because when I worked at Family Dollar, we just got debit card machines installed. This is 2004. We just got a debit card machine.
It was 5.
2005.
Yeah.
We just got debit card machines installed in the store when I was working there. Okay. I remember that vividly.
So that explains why we all were running around grabbing cash. The debit card was just once upon a time to prevent you from having to go inside the actual bank to get your money out.
You can go to an ATM now.
To an ATM. That was
because I remember having to do all my deposits, going into a bank.
Branch, yeah, you had to.
Cashing a check, maybe asking for some cash in return. You know what I'm saying? Cash and deposit. Let me do a cash and deposit. Let me get 20 back.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was a thing. I forgot doing that.
Let me cash it so that way my check can hit today. I gotta cash it, deposit it, and get some cash back real quick.
Yeah.
I remember they were still using checks to purchase stuff in the store. You have to call this number, dial in this number on the check, wait about 5 minutes, maybe not 5 minutes, maybe about 2 minutes, and get a number back just so the check can clear. So people can buy things at Family Dollar.
Yeah.
I remember people coming in, hey, do y'all accept debit? Nah, not yet. We getting our machines installed next week. I remember that vividly.
Yeah. That's 17 years ago. That's 17 years ago, not that long ago. You know what I'm saying? When we were still in an era where it was not a number. It was literally, you had to have something tangible in your hand. Or you didn't have no money.
Now you got Cash App. You know what I'm saying? You got kids growing up might not ever hold $1 ever a day in their life. I don't even know what $1 even looks like outside of maybe what school might show them, even if they show money in school. Like, you remember going to school and them having the coins? You do your math with the coins.
Yeah, on the
what's this? Oh, that's a nickel. Yeah. This is a nickel. That's a quarter. That's a dime. That's a penny. That's gonna be obsolete. in a few years from now.
Yeah.
If not already. If not already.
Wow.
You know, I went and I got 2 bank accounts. That's all digital. You know, no physical place that this bank exists. Just an app on my phone. I downloaded a couple apps and I've been using these online banks, these app banks.
Yeah.
So there's no physical bank, but I deposit money into it. I deposit the number into it. I never see this bank before. Like, if the bank goes bankrupt, like, this place doesn't exist. But I'm putting a number into it.
And they never seen your money before. They just trusted
never
that
seen my
number
money.
is validated at another place, and then they say, okay, yeah, that place said he got that number, so he got that number. Send it over.
He's good.
Send that number over.
And then I don't ever see this bank. Bank can take my money and close down. I never even seen the place before.
Right.
So like we're really getting into this space of, like, we talk about digital currency all the time. But like seeing how things really have shifted and changed, man, it's kind of weird.
Everything's pretend. Everything's pretend now. Like, wow. And we're pretending about anything. No wonder we pretend about so much. Everything, your money's pretend. Your whole life is pretend. Like, you might as well pretend. Mm-hmm. You can be what you want. You can have what you want. You can say you are what you want. Like, you know, anything. I think there was a dude that said he was like, he wanted to go by claim to be like a cow or something weird from now on. He wants to be referred to as a cow. Like, it's just the life we live in, man. Like, you can
claim whatever you want to claim, be what you want to be.
Allegedly,
whatever sexuality you want to be, whatever gender you want to be, whatever career you say you want to have. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can be whatever it is you want to be. Like you said, we live in a pretend society. That's wild.
Yeah. I'm gonna pretend you got as much money as you say you got, as long as somebody else claim that number too. Like, you know what I'm saying? We'll all go along with that number. Like,
my net worth is. It could be anything.
Yeah.
You know? Because I never actually seen the physical money of what I think I have.
Yeah.
Or what this bank says I have.
Right. Me either. And which goes back to the only things, well, even the only things of true value is physical assets. I know you have digital assets and they're valuable, but they still fall into that whole pretend world. Like they're
valuable.
Somebody can take it from me. Like,
right. It's value because somebody says it's value. Like you said, when you mentioned you work a job and they deposit money into your bank account, you never see this money. You just see a number populate in your bank account. One day you got $100, the next day you got $2,000.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I worked 2 weeks and now I got X amount of money in this bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We say this job is worth this amount of money and we get this number, but it's not real. The only, like, we talk about agriculture and growing stuff and actual resources from the earth. Yeah. That's the only real stuff when it comes down to it. And we devalued it.
Yeah, true. We devalued it, man. And you know what's crazy about
for a system?
This system is a system where we don't even take time to really calculate the money that's in the account. Nobody ever goes behind their bank and actually add up all them numbers and make sure that the debits is coming out to equal the right number that it's supposed to. You just trust that the algorithm on the thing is equating this stuff correct. Like,
yeah, knows? Every time you
cheat me out of $1 every time, for all I know. Like,
every time you swipe your debit card, you don't go back and check and make sure. I remember back in the day, my pops used to balance his checkbook.
That's
at least once a week.
Balancing your checkbook. We don't do it anymore. We just trust that the ledgers are correct on the bank.
Nothing. But which is crazy. I think that's why. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Not why, but the system and institutions took advantage of it. Man, I have so many automatic drafts that come out of my account for so many different subscriptions. I don't know what's coming out of my account half the time. And I was sitting back last week like, man, I need to go through my account and see what's coming out. I actually thought about, I need to balance my checking accounts because I honestly really don't know what's coming out. from day to day. I just know I see my account one day, got this amount of money in it. I think I spent this much. Is actually this much in my account left. I really don't know what's going on with it. To
You
be
just
honest
make a
with you,
guess and say that's about right. It should be around that number. It's about right. And you just accept it. Now, you and I, we actually know better. You're from an era where I know that you balance your checkbooks. I used to balance mine. I had a checkbook and I would go in, and every time I'd write a check or make a transaction, I'd fill it out in my
you
checkbook.
write it in, yeah.
I used to do that. I don't do it no more. Now they have stuff. There's an app called, I think, True App or True something, and it
True Bill.
Yes, True Bill, and it basically is a checks to make sure everything's supposed to be coming out. In the sense, it's kind of like a
balancing your checkbook. I got it. I got True Bill.
Yeah,
But guess
just
what?
making sure that
How often do I look? How often do I look at it? I don't ever look at it still. I still don't take the time to look at it. You know what I'm saying? It alerts me when I have subscriptions. I'm like, man, I forgot I had that subscription. Let me go and cancel that real quick. Oh man, I forgot to cancel this because I was just trying to do a free trial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those free trials that get you if you ain't careful.
You know, we have truly all become worse with managing our money from that point of view. And no matter how good people think they're managing their money, they're not managing as well as they once upon a time did. You just can't be. You can't be for the same reason you just explained, because we're all on subscriptions that we were never on before. We got all these little weird things going on. I have the Acorns app where they take some of my money out, all the change from transactions, and then they'll invest the difference and stuff like that. You have random stuff like this that's just being snatched out your account. Like, we're not managing.
And you don't know what they're taking. You trust that they're keeping your change and putting it aside for you and investing it for you, but you don't really know what they're taking. I have this app called
don't come out the same day. You know, they come out random. You know, you buy something on a Thursday, it comes out on a next Wednesday. Like,
I swear, like, I don't know what's going on with my accounts at least half the time. I think I have this amount of money, and I look at like, hold on, when this come out? Oh, all right, well, okay, I think that makes sense. I did spend that. Okay, all right, well, I got this amount of money, and I don't go back and verify. I just trust it.
Right. Sheesh. Sad. Even discussing it, I don't know if I'm going to do anything to be better at it, because guess what?
It's too comfortable, man. It's too easy.
It's too comfortable. I enjoy the convenience and the comfort of it. And I'm blessed enough to have enough money where I can live frivolously like that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, not saying that I got enough where I shouldn't be managing it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what you got, you should be managing it. You know what I'm saying? But if you live in
you just know,
if you penny pinch and you're forced to penny pinch, then yes, you watch that stuff a little closer.
You just know if you maintain a certain lifestyle. I know if I don't go crazy, I'm gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I didn't go on a vacation this month. I didn't go out and just buy drinks for the whole bar, and I'm not going crazy. I'm just living regular. You know what I'm saying? Day to day, I'm buying food, doing my groceries. I might pick up a sandwich this day, go buy a bottle this day, go buy some cigars that day, go give somebody some money. Like if normal routine,
right?
I know I'm going to be good at the end of 2 weeks, and I'm going to get a re-up, and that re-up's going to be enough to pay my bills. Right. You know what I'm saying? My bills are going to be covered. I'm good. Yeah. And as long as I'm not going crazy, I'm not worried.
Right.
Because I know my bills are going to be covered every paycheck.
Right.
So
it's like y'all and don't let Denzel fool you. He left out invest. Denzel's a strict investor, so he is investing also. That's one of the things his money goes towards, man. Don't think he's blowing money like and not investing in it either.
Which is probably what I spend my money on the most. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like I was looking at how much money I've been putting into investments. I think I have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally buy something or several things at least daily, at least once a day. I'm buying something. Like I'm buying a crypto. I'm buying a stock. I'm putting money into this or that every day.
Yeah.
You know.
You only got a problem because the market ugly right now. You gonna have a beautiful problem in about 2 years, but for right now,
once it all comes to fruition and it finally blooms and grows, is good. But it's like, man, like my accounts ain't growing like the money that's coming out my account. It's like you throw your money in there and then you got less money now. Like how did I put $100, but then I'm $50 under? Oh, hey,
right.
This math ain't adding up.
Yeah, back to that whole digital world. I need to start getting me a certificate for my stocks again, man. I want that again. I want to go old school, man.
Yeah. Old school with that. You buy a stock, you get a certificate. You own this stock. Because what if my app stopped working? Who's going to say that I actually have this stock?
Right. What if I forget my login and I can't give you the username and you just like, hey, man, you don't exist. Now that's thousands of dollars floating around somewhere. Like
with the crypto, with the crypto thing, with the card, and people forgetting their passwords and they can't log into their cards anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Money's gone. Money's gone. Just like that. I mean, it's equivalent to having $50 in your pocket and dropping it, and you drop that 50, it's gone. You ain't got it no more. But it's just the fact that people put these big bucks into the crypto wallets and can't get into it. So they losing bags of money. Bags of it.
Bags of money. Whew. Hey, man. Let's get back to the cigars, man. We normally do a mid-conversation update, man. And, I think we're a little over the halfway mark. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm about in my man, I'm only in my
you ain't been puffing
my second,
like that
third.
either, man. You've been over here taking, your cigar been sitting down a lot from what I've been seeing.
It has. Not that
Is there a reason?
Not because it's been a bad cigar.
Okay.
I've had to relight a few times. And I've actually switched just straight to a butane lighter on it. So it hasn't hurt it too much though. Like I said, I'm only in the first part of my second third. I just got through my first third. And the bite definitely leveled out. I got more to that nice, smooth earthiness of the cigar. Nothing more than just some woodiness, some nuttiness. No sweet, no nothing like that. Nothing too complex or anything like that. Just a nice, even kill earthiness to my cigar. Just feels like good, smooth tobacco. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Not too many crazy complexities. And I'll also say the aroma is really good right now.
Yeah.
The aroma is really good. I'm enjoying the aroma.
Yeah, likewise here on Montecristo. Very good aroma that I'm picking up on it. Still super smooth, full body smoke. It's got a little bit of a cinnamon and still that earthy woodiness to it. And those are kind of the things I've been picking up on in my second third, but I'm early in my second third. Well, I'm nearing the halfway mark of the second third, put it that way.
Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm picking up. Some of the coffee has kind of died out, but that woody earthiness and a little bit of cinnamon is what I got going on in this particular third. Some of the subtle sweetness that I noticed early on, that also died out also.
It's dialed back? Okay.
Yeah, it's dialed back, man. But it's still a smooth.
So you had a
smooth ride, man.
You had a sweet and spicy a little bit then. That kind of just capped it off.
Early on, yeah.
Like off the first, not capped it off, but at least jump started it. Which is a pretty cool way to start a cigar though.
Yeah. It's been nice.
You don't really see that
ride,
much,
man. I'm gonna say that it's been a luxury ride.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Man. You see how that Rolls Royce pulled over that speed bump?
Yeah.
In that video I sent you. That's how my ride's been. I ain't hit no speed bumps along the way, man. I don't even feel them. Like I'm just rolling,
just
like,
smooth. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, man. So
we've been talking about money. We've been talking about value and stuff, which leads us into entrepreneurship. You said something to me before we got the cameras rolling, and actually part of that conversation probably is on camera, but if I do what I'm supposed to, I'm gonna edit it out. Or maybe I won't. Who knows, man? You know, I'm lazy, man. I might just post it as is. But
just leave it in there.
Yeah, but I want you to touch on where you were going in that conversation. You were talking about time and being able to have quality time to be able to create. I guess more time is how you would describe it.
How did I phrase it? Like
you had it worded perfectly, but I didn't do it justice. But I would like for you to touch on that same conversation if possible, because I cut you off. I didn't let you finish saying it because I wanted to save it for the show.
Man, I wish I remember how I phrased it though, because we were just going. But it was somewhere along the lines of like the convenience of availability, like being able to be available, the availability of consistency. I think that's what I put it.
Mm-hmm.
The availability of consistency. And getting into entrepreneurship, it takes consistency, you know, to be able to free yourself. Like we talked about money, we talked about finances a little bit, we talked about how the system is. And the only true way to free yourself from the system is to get into some form of entrepreneurship, whether it's fully or whether it's part-time. But in order to be successful in it, as far as having that freedom eventually, is the ability to be consistent. You know, you can't get there without the consistency. And just looking at some of the things that you've done and I've done and my brothers and other people that I might know, who have gotten at least to a point, or some who've gone all the way. And looking at the differences of those who kind of hit that ceiling a little bit or hit their ceiling, and those who have blast through the ceiling, proverbial ceiling. And the difference is just that availability of consistency. You know, we got jobs, man. We got 9 to 5s, you know, which aren't really 9 to 5. Some are 24 hours, you know what I'm saying? 7 in the morning to 7 in the morning. Or actually 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning. Shoot. Let it be known. It's hard to be consistent because you're answering to one job that you're tied to, and you don't have that ability to break away from it, to have that consistency that you can pour into it to kind of break that chain and break that chain of the system, man. And it's like how to carve out those moments where you can have small pockets of consistency. And I think that's the key when you have something that you're tied to, something that you're kind of chained to, and you're trying to break through. It's like finding these small pockets. Okay, do I have an hour a day? Or even if you start with just maybe a couple of days a week, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do this. Or every Friday, Saturday, I'm going to do this. Find small pockets of time to say, I'm going to dedicate this hour to just that. And then eventually start to grow like that little crack in the, I'm saying a little crack in the wall, and there's water trying to flow, or a crack in the dam or whatever. And that water kind of trickles through a little bit. And then eventually that crack gets a little bit bigger, and the water starts to flow a little bit more until that dam completely breaks and floodgates. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of consistency here and there, and allowing it to grow over time to where you're creating a new normal for yourself. That's kind of where I was getting at, man. I'm trying to figure out myself. I haven't gotten the key for myself and my availability to be able to do it. Still working through that.
Well, that's the tough part, man, is the availability. But I've noticed that, since the pandemic, I've had a lot more availability than I've ever had before, which has allowed for more consistency.
Right.
And so I can only speak on this from my own situation, but through ourselves, we know others. So I would imagine if this applies for me, it would apply for most. I have seen more progress with that more availability, allowing me to be more consistent. I've seen more progress in the things I'm doing than ever before, but it's only because of, like you say, that consistency that I've been able to do, where I have been able to needle away until finally water's coming through and that dam is cracking. You know what I'm saying? But I've said this, I believe, on the show before, and if not, I know I've definitely said it to you. My grandfather gave me a quote that I never forgot. He said, "Life is a practice," and what he meant by that was, he said that you're constantly practicing being better at the things you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you never really reach your end point because we're always just going. You know what I'm saying? There's no end point to nothing in reality. You know, you just keep going. You think you finish one goal, but that goal kind of transcends into something else and you keep going. So I took what he said and I've kind of tweaked that from life is a practice to life is repetition. You know what I'm saying? And I really truly believe that it is what you're saying. You got to put in the reps for whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is, your belief system, whatever, you put in the reps to get to whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And I've been putting in the repetition, and whether it's the gym and you need 3 to 4 days a week, you're putting in those reps. You will see the transformation over time if you're consistently putting in those reps. If it's a business you're trying to build, you have to consistently put in the repetition of doing for your business. It will eventually grow as long as you're consistent. Might be 1 month, might be 2 years. Whether it's a garden, you got to do the repetition of constantly watering, feeding, making sure it's getting adequate sunlight. It will grow.
And that's your preparation. And I was talking to one of my young soldiers a few weeks ago, and I was telling him the difference between working out and training. They're not the same thing. Working out is you do an exercise. That's working out. But when you have a focused goal and you have consistency in those workouts at a particular goal and you're consistent with it, those workouts become training. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between working out and training. There's a difference between doing something and preparation. So like you tell about the repetition, you get that repetition becomes training, which becomes preparation. You know, and it's getting to that point to where you have to have the reps, you have to have the repetition, you have to have the consistency in order to get truly prepared for whatever it is, whatever task or whatever goal that you're trying to accomplish. You know, it has to become training eventually. And you only get training by repetition.
And through that repetition allows you to have preparation. And that's a beautiful point you made, because I just had this conversation with my wife yesterday. She we were talking about having nerves with doing certain activities. And I told her I don't get nervous about a lot of things because, and I gave her the example. Think about this for yourself, right? You play basketball. You might have had some nerves before, or whatever sporting event you in. You might have had some nerves, but I play basketball, so I can speak for myself on that.
You can talk about martial arts.
Martial arts for you. I had nerves prior to. I may have had some nerves prior to the event, but once you step foot on wherever platform you're performing, the nerves go away. And they go away because you know within yourself, the nerves go away, the confidence comes out because you are prepared for that moment. And now it's time to perform in that moment. The things I do now, yes, I might have my concerns about things, but I don't get nervous about it because once it's showtime, I perform because I am prepared for this moment. And I can only be prepared through those repetitions. But it's repetition for everything, man. Like if you believe in God, the repetition is you pray that when you pray consistently until God blesses you, whatever it is. If you believe in the law of attraction, you repeat the same thoughts over and over and you believe that you'll manifest it. That's your belief. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in hard work, it's the repetition of I'm going to consistently do this until it pays off. But it's all a repeated action until you achieve your goal. We're all saying the same thing, but we're calling it something different. But we all got the same thought process. I got to repeat this over and over until it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reality of it. It's all a repetition.
And that can be applied into anything.
Learning. Go to school. You want to be smart? Keep studying over and over until you learn it. You know what I'm saying? You want to become a good writer? Keep writing. You know what I'm saying? You want to become a good singer? Keep practicing. You want to be a good rapper? Keep writing songs. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is. Want to learn to play an instrument? Keep repeating the same process of trying to play this instrument until you master it. Like it's anything, man.
Yeah.
Literally.
Anything. I remember, man, when I was coming up early on in the military and talking about like PT tests, right? Which is a huge thing in the military course, right? You got to be physically fit. You got to pass your PT test to the point that you fail 2 PT tests back to back, they kick you out. You out of here. Or you can't run. You done failed twice, you gone. Send you back home. There goes your job, your livelihood, because you didn't do a certain amount of push-ups or you didn't do a certain amount of sit-ups. So I go through training, 10 weeks of basic training, 4 months of training for my school, my job. And I finally get into, you know what I'm saying, being a actual soldier now. And I've taken PT tests in basic training. I've taken PT tests in AIT, that's our training school. And those are all training PT tests. You have to pass those, of course, in order to, you know, finally be a full-time soldier. Now, boom, you earn your rank. You are a soldier. You're good to go. They send you off to your first duty station. So now I get to my first duty station and I take my first PT test as an actual soldier now, not in training. And I fail. Only time I ever failed. My very first one. I failed my sit-ups. Push-ups, kill them, knock them out. Sit-ups come, I lay an egg. I do like 30-some sit-ups. Straight trash. I've never done that. That's always been my Achilles heel, my weakest point. But I've never done not enough to the point where I fail. Only 30-something, right? Run comes, I kill the run. I'm like, yo, what happened? Like, you killed the push-ups, you killed that run, but you suck at sit-ups, dude. Right? Like, what in the world's going on? I'm like, yo, this is wild. I'm scared I'm about to lose my job. You know what I'm saying? Because I got 2 months to prepare to take this test again. Well, actually, I got another month because they make you take a practice one. And depending on that one, they kind of start looking at you a little bit. But then they give you another month. All right, you take this record. You better be right. You better be ready. And talking about those nerves, and they happen. And I remember talking to one of my leaders, and I'm like, man, so how do you get good at sit-ups? Oh no, actually, I didn't ask him. I was talking about my weak point, and he offered this. He's like, yo, I got a way that you can get good at sit-ups. And so I was like, yeah. So I said, how do you get good at it? I'm thinking he's going to drop some crazy workout tactics for me. Like he's going to lay it out. And I'm like, I bet. I'm going to do whatever he says. You know what he told me?
Keep doing them.
He said, do them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it? He's like,
that's it.
Do them. And the crazy thing is, light bulb. And for the next 9 years or so, I've been living by that same mantra. Do it.
Yeah.
You know, I have soldiers now and they suck at running. And I did the same thing to them. It's like, all right, man, look, this is how you get better at your run. You get your run time down from 18 minutes down to 13 minutes, 2 mile, and boom, this is what you need to do. You need to run. You need to do it. You need to do it consistently. That's it. Your body's going to acclimate. Your mind's going to acclimate. You're going to shift. You're going to change. You're going to get used to whatever it is that you're doing. It's going to become second nature. I have this thing where I call creating a new normal. You create a new normal through consistency.
Yeah.
You create a new normal by starting.
Yeah.
And then once you start, you do it again. Then after you do it that second time, you do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again until you're doing it now.
Yeah.
It made sense. Like I wasn't a runner growing up. You know, I might have ran like a mile here and there, but I got good or decent at running because I got addicted to it and I just started just doing it every day, every other day. And it became like breathing. Oh, I got to go run 5 miles? I got to go run 10 miles? All right. I can throw on, my knees are bad right now. I can throw on my running shoes and go knock out 10 miles. smooth. You know what I'm saying? Because just do it. And sit-ups is something I never did. And I'm thinking I'm going to get this crazy workout tactic. And the idea was just do it. And I was like, all right, bet that makes sense. Let me just start doing them and I'm going to get better. And I got better.
No
I just
shortcuts,
did it.
man. No shortcuts.
No shortcuts.
You just do stuff, man, and just keep doing it. Like these bodies we have are made to acclimate. They're perfect. They're made perfect. Yeah. Just keep showing them. They will adapt. You will become. You can't convince me. Nobody on this earth can convince me that they won't get better at something if they continue to consistently do it on a regular basis. Just keep repeating the same action consistently.
Now, are some things easier for others?
No, it'll be relative to the individual's natural gifts and what they're capable of doing. You might not ever be as good as one person is at one particular thing.
Like you were telling me about,
but you will be better than your own previous.
Like you were telling me about your boys and singing, and you're playing the notes for them to listen to sing. You learn the notes and you sing it. And I might not be Stevie Wonder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can learn to hold a note. I can adapt.
Yeah.
My vocal cords will adapt if I did it enough and I tune my ear and I learned and I could figure it out. I might not be the greatest vocalist in the world, but you can learn
to sing. But you learn to sing.
You know, like, I'm not naturally a Kenyan. Man, them Kenyans can run. You know what I'm saying? But for me, as unathletic as I am, I've done it enough that my body soon adapted. Now, I'm not going to wake up and like, I had some Kenyan buddies, especially in the military, man, they run a 9-minute 2 mile, smoking and flying, 4-minute 1 mile. I'm never going to get there. But for me to get my mile into 5 minutes, that was big because I did it. Now, I'm not going to naturally be them and wake up and be able to work out and get to 4 miles. I might 4 minutes, but I might not ever be able to do that. But I can be better than what I was if I continue to do whatever it is I'm doing.
Right.
You know,
exactly. Like you say, everybody's gifts is going to be different. Some people naturally going to have gifts you don't naturally have, and you look at them and you say, wow, they didn't have to work at it. But that singing is a great example because there's some people that just know how to sing. Where did it come from? How did they just naturally know how to do it? Who knows? But that don't mean that. Does your voice work? If your voice worked, then you can do what they did. Yeah. You just gotta.
But even those who are great and those who are great naturally, guess what? They still worked.
They still got to work.
They still practice. They still have to work. They still have to hone and tune and learn and figure out pitches to take it even to
the next level,
a greater level.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. They even have a higher state.
They just started higher.
Certain people still, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they just started higher, so they can still go from here to here.
Yeah,
by doing it. You know. And we're all uniquely created differently to where we have our own, like you said, gifts and talents to where, okay, they might be nice singers, but they can't do this over here that I can do.
They might not naturally be able to do what I do naturally, you know.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean you don't be consistent in whatever you're good at and don't be consistent in whatever you're not so good at that you desire to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just consistency.
We write that off too easily, man.
Consistency.
We write it off too easily and be like, oh man, I can't do that. I'll never, ever be able to do that. And you don't try. You don't try. Like my son has a bad habit. If he's not immediately great at something, then he's like, he don't want to do it. And I always have to tell him, you gotta keep practicing at it, son. You didn't always know how to walk. But look how good you run now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when I met you, you couldn't walk, but you kept trying till you figured it out. Like, so
hey, that's light bulb moment right there.
Yeah.
Like everybody who's walking upright in this world today, at one point, you didn't know how to walk. You didn't know how to talk.
Yeah.
But you figured it out.
You kept trying and then it worked.
Trying and then it worked.
You know, you got damn good at walking, and you got damn good at talking eventually.
Because you won't stop now.
Because you won't stop. But you kept trying. You figured it out. Like, apply it to anything, man. Apply it to anything. It's a beautiful point you make, man. It's the consistency. We all, anything you're not good at, you just lack consistency. You're not good at it. You're just not consistent at it.
Like, Dang. Nice. Jewel drop right there.
Yeah.
I like the way you just put it. It's not that you're not good at it. You're just not consistent at it.
Yeah. It's true, man. Like, shoot, man, when I first started trying to play the piano, my left hand wouldn't do jack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I thought that was the most impossible thing ever. And, you know, one day it won't work with the other one. And you just keep doing it. And eventually, next thing you know, you're doing it and you ain't looking at it. And you're talking, holding a conversation with somebody. You're like, oh, snap, this is an autopilot. When did this happen? It just happens because you keep doing it. Like, it'll happen, trust me. Like, it might not happen as quick as the next person happens, but you don't compare yourself to the next person. You're not them. You can only compare yourself to you. Everything's relative to your own time. Everybody has their own pace. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody has their own pace.
Which is the other problem with people. It's too many. You have access to seeing too many people. So you forget that you got your own journey. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, that's another 30-minute convo right there. I can get into something like that easily. Man, I wish. I'm just gonna keep it right here because I don't want to get long-winded with it. But I just wish that we didn't have as much access to see what other people are doing 24/7.
Right.
You know, the era we grew up in, you couldn't see what the next man was doing 24/7. You know, you only saw what your friends was doing from a certain hour to a certain hour. You know, whether they were just school friends and you saw them at school, or then you had your group of friends you saw at home, another group of friends that you might have saw on the weekend, or family members that you saw every other month or so, or on holidays. But you didn't know what everybody was doing all the time. And constantly comparing, even I don't think I do as much, but I find myself watching what other people are doing and seeing their growth and in ways comparing it to my own.
Right.
I'm guilty of it. I am guilty of it.
And that's a confidence killer. I seen an interview with Jamie Foxx. He said when he got to Hollywood, he thought he was the greatest singer in the world until he saw other people and realized, oh, other people, God has blessed other people the way he blessed me. But I say that to say he was in a time where you didn't have access to anybody else. He was in his own little world and he was that confident. He thought he was the baddest thing God put on earth. And if you can remain confident if you just have some tunnel vision and focus on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I think there's a benefit to it. I think there's a benefit to being self-aware and self-contained in your own space, to where you don't see what everybody else is doing, but you're honing you. And then once you hone you, take your step into a bigger realm and now seeing what others are doing, and then now stepping yourself up to the plate to where they are. Because people do need to have a realization that, oh, there are greater people. I can't take this gift higher. But get in yourself first.
Right.
Figure out yourself first. Be the best version of you that you can be before you take it to the next level and see what the next level of greatness is. And then now, once you've built yourself great in what you can do, in your abilities, now you're solid. And now you can build on that snowball of yourself.
Right.
You know, instead of being like all over. I think we start out all over the place. Or now these younger people start out all over the place trying to figure out amongst the masses where they stand and competing here and competing there, and never really collectively come together for themselves and bringing their own entity together and then expanding on it. They're trying to expand against, you know what I'm saying, like this whole crowd.
Right.
Like,
they kill their confidence from the beginning because they watching too many people starting early.
Yeah. Yeah. And they never really hone themselves. They try to be what that person's doing, or they try to be what that person's doing, or they see this person over here doing that. My daughter did it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this YouTube thing, and I'm seeing this. No, figure out who you are first. Figure out what you do great. Hone what you do, what your natural ability or what your passion is. Do that. Then expand it. Now, okay, I see what the competition. This is what I do. Martial arts. You know what I'm saying? I'm practicing. I know me. This is me. This is my fighting style. This is how all right, now let's go compete. After I practice in myself. Okay, I see what the competition looks like. Back to the drawing board. Now let me hone myself at a higher level.
Right.
You know,
Right.
that's competition level. Like that could be for a track and field runner. Let me get as fast as I can be on my own. Okay, let me hit these track meets. Oh, dang, I see what. Now let me meet the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Let me build myself up. Now let me go beat the mark. You know what I'm saying? That's anything you do, whether it's competition based or whether it's professional realm, getting education, and then stepping into a job field. Okay, this is what I do. Okay, now I see what the market is asking for. Let me step it up now.
Right.
You've already got that foundation built. People are trying to build off no foundation, looking at everybody else.
Yep. You 100% right, man. And that's old school advice that you're able to tap into because you come from a time where you didn't have everybody to compare yourself to. So you know that works. For a person of this generation, like you say, your daughter, someone of her age, or maybe a little older or younger even, that might seem hard and difficult, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's true. I swear to God, it's true. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just got to be able to take yourself off the grid for a moment though, and tap into that, because otherwise you're never going to realize how much of a jewel that is for real, that what you just said, man. You got to be able to step away, go into your own world, build yourself to a certain place, and then come back and see, okay, where do I fit in? Okay, how much work do I need compared to where everybody else at? And then step away again and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Then you can come back into the world, look around, step back out, go to the shadows and go to work. You know what I'm saying? There's a season and an off season for everything. You know what I'm saying? Start taking your off seasons.
Come on now.
Start taking your off seasons.
You said it right there. You just said it. You just said it. You just said it. You just summed it up right there in that little blip. It's an off season. There's a season. There's a preseason.
Yep.
The season, off season. Play your seasons, man. Play your seasons. And I don't think that we do that enough. Our age group and higher, and then definitely for the younger folks.
Yeah,
definitely
we all fall victim to it now, but yes, especially the young people.
But the younger folk, they don't feel like there's an off season. They're either completely off or they're always on.
Right.
It's like it's no in between. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either you're always off, like come on, get it together, get to it. What are we doing? Or they always on. Yeah. Like now you got to cut it off from time to time. But yeah, you just summed it up right there.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we could go on and on with this subject, man. That's a good conversation. But we're going to go ahead and get ready to get into these cigar reviews, man.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to go first, or you want me to go ahead and speak on how I feel about my Montecristo? Actually, I want to go first because I feel like my stance is a little more obvious. Yours is a little more, we don't know where you're going to go with yours, man, based off of conversation so far. So I'll go first with mine. I had the Montecristo 1935 anniversary. I don't know if I mentioned this. This is a box press cigar.
Nice.
This one, for me, in the beginning of the show, I almost said something, then I backed off of it. What I almost said, and I stand by it at the end of the show, is this is a cigar that I will maintain having within my collection of cigars moving forward.
Really?
Yeah, this is a stay.
Montecristo.
This is a stay in my stable. At this point in time, I did not finish it. I was about to enter my last third, so I don't know what the final third has. I'll find out. I'll probably forget to tell y'all about it next week. But I will finish this up later on. I pretty much described a lot of what I dealt with. Early on, it was some spice that hit. It was some woodiness, and it was a little bit of a subtle sweetness. It was a full body cigar throughout it. The smoke was good, full, but it was smooth. I wouldn't quite say creamy, but on the verge of being that. It was, as I moved into that second third, I had the earthiness and some of the woodiness. It was a little bit of coffee at a point, and even some cinnamon at a point that picked up. But it was such a smooth cigar, man. And like I say, it was a luxury ride. It was a smooth ride, no bumps on the road, no hiccups. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give this cigar 4.7.
Woo! Wow. I'm blown away.
It's a mainstay.
I'm blown away. I'm blown away.
I like that. I would pick this up. I would buy a box of these and randomly hit them as I feel like it. But I
A
probably won't
box?
buy a box because it was 1995
Okay.
for one.
Okay.
So I don't know what
I
a box is
mean,
gonna hit me for, but I probably ain't gonna drop that on a box. But I will be picking this up as I get one, as I go buy some for the week. I'll snatch one up here, snatch one up there.
all right.
Every time I go.
Are we stretching the price point a little bit? Are you stretching your price point?
Um,
You getting comfortable in those higher
obviously,
price
I would.
cigars?
I haven't had any bad experiences with any of the higher price ones. All my ones, we had the Cohiba, and that was around the same price point. That was a great
Mm-hmm.
cigar. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So what I'm hearing is that higher price points right now are worth it. I mean, we've landed some good ones
around the $20 mark. You won't be mad at it. I haven't been mad at it so far. I haven't gone far above that. In on the show, I haven't. I think I went up to 30 one time years back, but that was like my most.
Okay.
And I don't recall being like blown away by that one at the time. But I have become I was more of a novice during that time. I'm not saying I was exactly a novice, but I'm more of an experienced smoker. Maybe I could go back and enjoy that same cigar more than I did back then. But because we were very particular early on about what we like, and a lot of the stronger ones we weren't always into. So like you say, you're now into a full body. I was always kind of a medium body cream, you know what I'm saying? So maybe, maybe. I'm not ready to fully go put the Vernon's cigars and everything else name on that yet, on that statement.
Yeah.
But maybe. Let me get a little more experience under my belt.
But that Montecristo, it's a go. It's
the
up there.
Montecristo was a go.
I like it.
That's
I like it.
I'm loving it, man. I had a great experience with it.
Man, that's what's up. I like to hear that. So I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes out for it, and if I see it, I might pick it up because I'm willing to go up there too with the prices, man. I had to dab it off a couple months ago, and I liked it. Cohibas, we like it, so I might up the price point a little bit too every now and then. Yeah. At least one. So whenever I hit the cigar shops, I might grab one that's up there every now and then get my my main price points. So definitely with you on that. All right, so let's get into this Alec Bradley, man. Whew. I've had a little struggle with it, man. So I don't know if I got a fair shake with the cigar. I don't know. Maybe it did dry out a little bit too much. I had to keep lighting it, which was a struggle. It could be a me thing. It could be the humidor I picked it up from. But it was one of the humidors I usually go to, so I trust them. I trust that they take care of their cigars. It's one of my normal spots. So I don't know where the cigar went wrong as far as the light and staying lit. I don't have a lot of wind in here or anything like that, so there's no reason for it to not stay lit. But man, this cigar, looking at the ratings for it was a 91 point rating cigar. I can say it definitely earned that rating as far as what I smoked so far. Okay. I got halfway through the second third. So I did get a good bit of it. So I got halfway through the cigar. And 91, go with it. Yeah. The description of it. So full body, yeah. Said it's supposed to have rich notes of espresso. Didn't necessarily get that. Leather and pepper. Very little leather. Not so much pepper. I don't know if the leather and pepper kind of combined to get that bite in the beginning that I was getting. That could have been it, where the leather and pepper just kind of blended together to kind of give you that unique bite that it had. But I didn't get anything that stood out heavy on the leather. I definitely did get some leather, but not as much pepper. But overall, it's a good cigar. So it's a good cigar. I don't smoke too many Honduran wrapped cigars. I guess we usually do grab the Nicaraguans, right? Mm-hmm. But hey, Honduran wrappers, they're good to go, at least for this cigar anyway. As far as my rating, I give it a solid 3. A solid 3.
Hold on now. That don't
solid 3.
No.
No. A solid 3.
No. All right, you got to back off that 91 then. You don't co-sign 91 if you gave it a 3.
let's see, a
3 is
91.
dead
All right, so
average in our world. Hold on now. For those who have made it this far in the show, we go 1 to 5. So I go 4.7. That's damn near perfection. He went 3, but cosigned, he was okay with them getting a 91. I feel like
Okay,
you
look.
have it both ways now.
Well, see, I say this. I guess I'll try to tie it in together. So a 91 for me doesn't speak as top notch. It puts you in a higher tier, right? Now, the higher tier, I can see that, and that's why I kind of agree with the 91 because the cigar was enjoyable as I got to smoke it. But the the challenges I had with the cigar didn't allow me to fully enjoy it and fully get that 91. Now, the 95s and higher, or I would even say 94 and higher, those are now you're really jumping into my 4 range. I'm looking to try to give you a 4, but it's your job to keep it. But 91, that means okay, you're a fair cigar.
So that cigar
it's
is
like
in the top 9% of cigars in production.
Mm-hmm.
But you gave it a 3. That's what you're saying to me?
Yeah. Based on my palate, based on the smoke, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I enjoyed it, but didn't love it.
All right, we'll take it. We'll take it.
It could have been because of the struggle I had
nice
with
to
it.
Alec, man. I think you being nice to Alec, personally.
Or maybe I am. Maybe I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I'm trying to find, the props to give to Alec like I truly want to.
I think you are, man, because this ain't adding up to me, but I have to accept it because that is your answer. It's not my answer. It's your answer. So
a 3 is not bad. I mean, come on.
It's just regular. It's cool. It's not good, not bad. It's average. 3.
We've smoked some bad boys.
I've given 3s to some bad cigars. I mean, I've given 3s to some cigars. I was like, yeah, 3. How many have we given under a 3? How many have we given under a 3? Not much at all. You got to think about that.
A couple.
Gurkha's probably like.
But I got to give it. It's just a solid 3 for me right now.
Okay.
But look, I'm only halfway through the cigar. I can see where the cigar is going, but I liked it, but didn't love it.
Okay. There you have it. It's a 3 for the Alec Bradley. And what's the name of that one more time for those who want to try that 3 out?
It's the Lost Art. Lost Art.
ARK or ART?
ART. Lost Art.
Yeah, the lost art of making a 91 cigar, y'all. There you have it. This is today's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast, episode 29. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll get with you next week.
Yes, sir. Cigars up.